What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I am so excited to be back. And with that excitement, I was thinking, what else am I excited to see that's coming up? And so for this video, we're going to be tackling my top 5 most anticipated TV shows that are coming out towards the end of 2024. But before we really jump in, let's keep something in mind. These are just my top recommendations. These could all suck. These could all be fantastic. You may not be interested in any of these. That's okay. But hey, this is a good little list and I'm excited for these shows. And with me being excited, I can imagine that other people are being excited. So let's go ahead and jump right into number 1. And my first recommendation, dropping on August 29th. Yes, just a week away. So I know it's not quite towards the end of the year, but it's going to be a big show. First season, I kind of enjoyed. I was definitely intrigued with where it went. And I'm talking about The Rings of Power Season 2. Now, I know a lot of people had a lot of different varying thoughts. Some people hated it, some people couldn't stand it, some people loved it, some people were just kind of like me, just like, huh, that was interesting. I'm interested to see where they end up taking this after all. That's kind of how I am with Season 2 coming out. And like I said, this comes out on August 29th, so just about a week away. And we all know what's going to happen. Obviously, we saw what happened towards the end of Season 1. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go ahead and go check that out. But the story is definitely continuing on from there. And if you've ever seen The Lord of the Rings, you definitely know where the story is heading at this point, so it shouldn't be that big of a surprise to you. But Season 2 is going to be focused on Sauron, obviously creating the remainder of the Rings of Power. And obviously, he's going to be giving it, well, some of them to the dwarves. That is something we didn't see happen in that first season, which is pretty expected to be occurring in Season 2. It might end up being, the season finale, how the rings got dispersed in Season 1, but we don't know. But like I said, I'm interested to see it. So yeah, August 29th, about a week away. Keep an eye out for it. Rings of Power Season 2. And my number 2 recommendation, dropping on September 18th, is Agatha All Along. Is that still a title? Have they changed it again yet? Yes, the show's gone through a wide variety of title changes, plot changes, directors, writers, but it is finally slated to come out. And now, I know, the Marvel TV shows have been very hit or miss. There have been some decent ones and there have been some god-awful ones. However, this one looks a little bit more intriguing because it clearly is involving Agatha Harkness and coming out of WandaVision, which was a good one of the shows. I'm interested to see how they really navigate this because Agatha was more of a side character in that show who is now leading this show. And the entire premise is that a teen asks Agatha for help down the Witch's Road. And the Witch's Road basically is going to have a bunch of different trials and tribulations. And if you make it all the way down it, it will grant you whatever you desire. Now, who is this teen? Obviously, there's a lot of speculation. I'm not going to start speculating on that right now. Might cover that in a later video. But it's definitely going to involve the Scarlet Witch in some form or fashion. It has to. WandaVision was all about her and her journey. Doctor Strange really touched on that and kind of showed the shift into her character. And so it's got to continue that way. It's going to have to wrap into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in some way. So maybe we see Scarlet Witch. I'm always excited to see Scarlet Witch. She was a good character. Definitely one of the more entertaining Avengers in my opinion. So I'm interested to see what they do with Agatha All Along, how it all ties in, what it actually concludes with, and more importantly, I just want Marvel to be good again. Yes, I know Deadpool and Wolverine just came out and it's been incredibly popular and it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, but I mean, like I said, they've been so hit or miss. I'm on the fence, but I'm definitely going to give this one a solid shot, and I think you should too. Like I said, Agatha All Along will come out on September 18th. And my number 3 recommendation that is going to be coming out on September 15th is Tulsa King Season 2. Yeah, I understand. Tulsa King, really? Season 2? We're excited for that. I actually really enjoyed this show. I know I gave it a shot just because I auditioned for it a couple times, and me and my wife found it to be pretty entertaining. We thought, wow, this would have been a fun job to actually get. Life of an actor, always watching the shows that you didn't get. But we were thoroughly entertained, and we're definitely interested to see how this kind of progresses because it was such an engaging, entertaining, not lighthearted, but it definitely had more humor to it than I thought it was going to have. Definitely a lot more humor than you see a lot of the Taylor Sheridan shows. Yes, this is a Taylor Sheridan show. Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, 1923, 1893, all those shows. Yeah, same person, even, the cop from Sons of Anarchy. Anyway, I'm also, like I said, I'm also very excited to see Tulsa King Season 2. I have auditioned for Season 2 as well. Didn't get that one either. But like I said, life of an actor. But definitely check it out. It's an interesting story, and it's a lot more engaging and entertaining than you would think it is, especially if you just watch the trailers and then just heard the name Tulsa King. Give it a shot. You might be surprised. Tulsa King Season 2 coming out on September 15th. And moving right along into my next recommendation that is going to be dropping on September 19th. Yes, I know quite a few of these that I'm excited for come out in September. What does that leave for the rest of the year? There's quite a bit of other stuff coming out. And, you know, spoiler alert, I got another video about my most hyped movies coming out. So keep an eye on that one. There might be some stuff a little bit more going to theaters that we're excited for. But dropping on September 19th is The Penguin Season 1. Yes, yet again, this is an IP type material, so it seems to be a trend this year, especially after the strikes. It seemed to be something that they were quickly able to recover, release, edit. Yeah, so anyways, The Penguin. If you enjoyed The Batman starring Robert Pattinson, which was quite good, one of the better renditions of Batman that we've seen in a while, very comic book accurate. It wasn't the Ben Affleck Batman by any means. It was very much detective Batman. If you enjoyed that, the griminess of what Gotham was portrayed as, then definitely check out The Penguin. Obviously, this is going to follow the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. He is, like I said, the character of the Penguin, and it's going to be a very much like a mobster, dirty, grimy kind of show. And yeah, I'm interested in that. I've always enjoyed that stuff. It seems like, you know, we're taking the Sopranos and we're putting them in Gotham. Why would that not be good? Now, obviously, you'd expect Batman to be in this, but I really don't know how involved Batman is going to be in this. I know this takes place immediately after the events of the Batman, so right after the Riddler and all that kind of stuff and situations. So I'm intrigued to see where the story goes, because this is canon. It is supposed to feed and funnel directly into that universe and have implications. So yeah, we saw what happened to the Penguin and the Batman, and so I'm interested to see, since this picks up right after those events, what actually happens. How does he, you know, take over the crime world? How does he get bigger and better? And then knowing what he knows about the Batman now, how does he navigate that? All that's very interesting. I enjoy Batman comics. I enjoy the Batman movies. I enjoy the Batman TV shows. So who knows? We may even see some sidekicks of Batman in their show, and that could be interesting. Other Batman characters. Yeah, like I said, it's supposed to funnel directly into that series and that universe, so who knows who could show up. But keep an eye out for The Penguin that is dropping on September 19th. And to round out my top 5 recommendations, this one really doesn't have a confirmed release date. They say it's going to be in 2024, but it's been pushed back a couple times. It had a couple different situations going on in pre-production, regular production, and post-production. So whether this actually comes out in 2024 is going to be a mystery. They're saying sometime in November is what it says on IMDb, but nobody's got a solid date for it yet. But I'm talking about Dune Prophecy. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Dune movies that just recently came out, Dune and Dune Part 2. I'm a fan of the books. And as somebody who really enjoyed the books, I kind of just didn't like some of the directions that they took. To me, a lot of the very important details in the books that they chose to leave out shouldn't have been left out. It drastically changed the way that the story was supposed to come across. And now I understand. I get it. Have you seen how big that book is? There's way too much detail to actually put into a movie. But there's a lot of meat on the bones to be able to turn it into a series. Now, granted, this is not going to be following, you know, the exact story of Dune. This is actually going to be taking place 10,000 years before the events of Dune, but it's going to be following the Bene Gesserit. And that's interesting because it's not quite played up into the detail that it should have been played up to in the movies, but these are very important, influential culture, people, witches, controllers, whatever you want to call it, architects, if you're a fan of Alien. But they hold a lot of the cards, they have a lot of the plans. They're very important in this universe, and I think that this show is going to do a really good job of showing us that level of importance and the feeling that we were supposed to get in the movies that wasn't quite able to be delivered, because you did have to focus on Paul Atreides and you did have to follow, you know, that whole storyline. And so I felt like this definitely took a back seat, put onto the back burner, whatever phrase you want to use. It wasn't quite as emphasized as it should have been, so I'm interested to see what happens. Hopefully this is good. It could be very bad. I know that there's been screenings and stuff that have been occurring, and the hype really isn't all that there, and the way that they're screening it to people is different than how they normally screen it. So who knows? It like I said, doesn't have an official confirmed release date, and that could be a problem, not because it's great, but because it's not as good as they were hoping. And knowing HBO, this is definitely going to be a big budget show, and they need one. They will definitely be needing one to definitely fill this gap in the year, because I don't think that they really have one besides, industry, but industry is going to be done well before this even starts. So yeah, we're gonna see what this looks like. Dropping sometime in November, December, Dune Prophecy. Go ahead and check it out. And if you haven't seen the movies, go ahead and go watch the movies too. Don't let my opinion of the movies sway you into not enjoying them, or definitely doing a little bit of homework so you might be a little less in the dark. Definitely go check them out. They're entertaining. They sound great. They look great. The filmmaking and cinematography is absolutely incredible. The acting, for the most part, is absolutely incredible. But like I said, I just felt like I was lacking in certain areas, and those areas were, as a book reader, the important areas to me. But check it out. Dune Prophecy, coming out sometime soon. And there we have it, guys. That is my top 5 recommendations of things that are coming out to the end of 2024 for TV shows. Like I said, I'm just a little hyped about this. I'm hyped to be back in front of you, hyped to be making another video. So let's keep the hype train going. If you haven't done yet, go ahead, hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well so you stay up to date with my other videos. And like I mentioned earlier, I got a top 5 hyped movies coming out here soon. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. And like I said, the best way to stay notified when that comes out is that subscribe button. Definitely make sure that it'll pop up onto your subscriptions and you'll know as soon as that comes out. So guys, with that being said, I'm Lucas here at Houston Productions. I will catch you in the next one.